Yes, ma'am. Now you can proceed, ma'am.
Ma'am, you can stop presenting. I'll be presenting. Is the screen all visible?
Yeah, ma'am, of course.
So we are on to the next session, and in this sessions, I have focused on the various stress interventions, and we checked how stress is important in our life, and how we can overcome the stress, especially at the workplace. Let's check various stress interventions by using this beautiful video.
Want to zap the stress and introduce a little more zen into your life? Follow these 7 steps for a more peaceful path. 1. Eat a healthy diet. Forget the ice cream binge and load up on fresh fruits and veggies and lean proteins. Your body will thank you with a happier outlook. 2. Get enough sleep. You'll be better able to handle stress that comes your way. Didn't catch enough Z's last night? Grab a nap for a mood boost. 3. Get moving. Take a stroll around the block, walk the dog, or bike to the grocery store. Find an exercise buddy. It's always more fun to exercise with a friend. Exercise releases feel-good chemicals that will lift your spirits. 4. Try some tunes. Soothing music can lower blood pressure, heart rate, and anxiety. Upbeat tunes can help you blow off steam. 5. Come up with a stress relief toolkit. Meditate. Take a long walk. Watch a comedy. Curl up with a good book or light some candles. Find what soothes you. 6. Enjoy nature. Work in your garden, walk in the woods, or relax in the park. A change of scenery can brighten your mood. 7. Get social. Have lunch with a coworker. Phone a friend. Volunteer. Take a class. Being around other people will give you a fresh perspective and help you find your happy place. It's all about what works for you. So start letting go of the stress in your life and move to your place of peace.
I think the most beautiful line of this particular video is getting a zen into your life. Zen, very, very important. And it's important to understand that it's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it. Everybody, as I told you, everybody has the load, everybody has those issues, but how the people are carrying it, how the interesting that zen is being added into your life is very, very important. And for me, zen is something like nourishing, or adapting and flourishing on what I have, rather than every time looking at what other people have. It's better to understand, it's better to nourish what I have. Because as I told you, that burning out, the risk of burning out is very, very specific line, a very, very mild line that is being there. And if you are at one end of that line, you are into the stress situation, that's fine, everybody have it. But if you cross that line, that depression and burnout will take you into a situation where only medicines, where only those sessions, where only those issues, where it's important to not to cross that line, because medical help should be the last help in terms of stress. Because stress is something that could be very easily and effectively controlled by what suits you. Because that showed in the video also, it's important to understand that what is suiting you, rather than focusing on what is the diet of other person, what is the to-do list of other person, what is the issues of other person. Concentrate on your life, your matters, your issues, your career, your growth in terms of specific matters. But when a person needs you, go out and help, because be a part of that society where you are helping, because then the help will come to your also end, not always expecting that when I help the help will come at my end, but in a way that will serve the society and be more human. That's important, that you need to be more human in your life. Now, when we talk about stress, I think around 8.3 million Americans adults were reported to be psychological distress in 2017, and that more anxieties, more depressions are each and every day they are going into the just too much clause. Why? Because you are into the world where you are uh, focusing on the um, focusing on the future rather than remaining in the present. And when we are talking about India, and in India, there is a psychological increase of 3.7% from 2018 to 24% 2020, and COVID affected countries and areas are more to be affected in terms of those countries where economic factors, losing your loved ones, and other stressful situations are there. And when we are talking about stress, it's important to understand those boiling points. You need to understand those boiling points, those heat points. And in order to understand that, as I told you, that line at one end is stress, and that line at the other end is the boiling points, the burning point, the depression, and so on. Let's check this, how interesting this video is being made. And what I want everybody, I am stopping it here. Um, let's check this video, and then in the remaining 5 minutes after this video, I'll play this video again, and everybody online should go with this particular massage. That is a very, very interesting massage, a 5 minutes massage by Dr. Zil Nayak. And it is actually a very effective massage, a practically prone massage, because of all the videos that I have been brought for you are something which are actually practically implemented by me also. So what we can do, you can just check this video, and I'll play this video again, and then you can actually go with the massage at that time. And then I'll ask you that actually what the situation was 5 minutes before, is it same or not? Let's go that. So you can bring cream with you all and apply it on your hands. So how easy this massage is, just rubbing. Everybody watch this, very easy to do, and in the next 5 minutes, and it's just a 5 minutes massage. So participants, are you ready? Shall we go it again? Everybody, can you bring, if you are have the cream with you, can you bring the cream with you all? Can we do that massage exercise again? Everybody, can we have some answers? And let's do that exercise and see how it will be very, very fruitful if you take this into this exercise into consideration for every day of your life also. So we'll be playing this video again, and we'll be doing this exercise, and let's check if you have some headaches and how it can be very, very effective for everybody. So I'm playing it again. So let's go with everybody. Let's start this exercise and do this massage with the video. Let's start it. Just apply the cream to your hands. This is just done to circulate your muscle tissue. And when we were talking about getting a break, this could be a 5-minute very interesting break. Some headaches and other type of pains can be relieved by this exercise. Now in this particular end, this is soothing muscle, very soothing muscle exercise. Can be done very easily with your thumb. Now you're punching the tip of every finger with firm pressure. And I'll be asking you how you're feeling after that. Now squeeze side to side. Hope everybody is doing. This could also be done by repeating side to side. doing repetitive wrist movements. It could be very, very soothing for the wrist also. And now you're finishing off by rubbing the top of your hands. So, I think everybody did it. How many did it? And one feeling you had after doing it. Can I get that feeling? Yes, audiences. Any one feeling you got? Relaxation, okay. Any other? Anita ma'am did it actually. Refreshing, okay. Anybody felt sleepy? Anybody felt sleepy? I felt sleepy. Yes. I was like, no. Okay, nobody felt sleepy. I felt sleepy because normally when I feel relaxed, I normally feel sleepy. Yes, many will feel sleepy because when you are relaxing, soothing, and you normally have like keeping a pillow behind you and have a small nap. So I think if you try this exercise, yes, fresh mind, yes, sleepy is not every time. Sleep doesn't mean that you are not fresh. Sleep is something that comes with relaxation also. Yes, blood flow increased. Yes. Actually, these are the outputs I expected, and these are the output anytime anybody can give if they have done it. If you have done it, then only you can give those outputs. So it's so good that you actually did it, and it's important if you continue this exercise any a time. So when you are talking about giving a break, so this could be one of the break exercise, that whenever you are feeling stressed or whenever you are not feeling good, you can go with this exercise, a very, very soothing and 5-minute self-relaxing. You don't have to go for any session. Oh, that's good. Daily acupressure, that is also very good. And normally this could be done as a very easy self, done by yourself only, and done by on an easy mode, no special things required. So that's good if people are practicing some exercises. So this can be very, very relaxing exercise to be done. So let's go forward. Now, when we're talking about stress management, so these are kind of techniques and programs in order to reduce and minimize the effects of stress. And from 2008, the Gale Encyclopedia in Medicine have focused a lot, because this was the year where a lot of stress-related issues happened in many of the people. Because as I told you that 10 or 12 years back, when we're talking about, we were more into the society where the stresses were left little less, but bringing that online market into the scenario, or bringing those more competitions into the market, or more bunch of exercises in terms of seeing people and comparing your stress came into the market a lot. So there's a requirement of stress management also. And actually what is stress is like a psychological, physiological, behavioral response by an individual, remember, by an individual. And when they perceive the lack of equilibrium between the demands placed on them and the ability to meet those demands. Because as I told you in one of the quote, that there is a load with everybody, but how you are carrying that load is very important. Because some people feel stress, some goes into that ill health, burnout, some goes into that depression and anxieties, and then those other issues comes into the practice where people suicide, and they are leaving nothing behind. And when we are talking about those symptoms, the symptoms can be anything from heartburn to fatigue, nausea, stomach pain, and over compulsive behavior, late nights issues, work, job, stress. And the stress is actually thing, as I told you, useful rather than harmful. It's important to understand, because when we talk about our ancestors, when your ancestors saw a sawtooth cat, they ran in front of it in order to save their life. So stress helped them save their life. So it was a positive response. But now now that positive response is underlying into more static behaviors, more suicides, because that line is being crossed. Because you are not stressed, you are actually distressed, you are actually burnouts, you are actually into the specification where you commit suicides, and the medical medicines and psychiatric treatment becomes a most important solution. And when we are talking about those harmful effects of sex, they leads to many of cardiovascular diseases, diabetes. Nowadays diabetes is becoming very very common to people in very early ages, anxieties, those depressions. And depression, especially in the COVID-19, we saw many people suffering from various depressions and various issues. It's important. I want to tell to you everybody that you need to understand that stress is inevitable. Stress is like understandable. Stress overcome, but burnout is very difficult to overcome. And then, as I told you, those ill health issues, those medical responses are the only solutions. And when you're talking about stress versus burnout, there are very, very important facts that needs to be taken into consideration. That stress is kind of urgency or hyperactivity, but burnout becomes helplessness, emotional tolling, those emotions, because burnout is more of an emotional response. Stress could be any psychological or physical response, but burnout becomes more where it leads to a lot of diseases, depressions, roads, deaths, suicides. So that line need not to be crossed. And it's better that overthinking needs to be avoided, controlling of your emotions, situations, and those 4 A's, as I told you: alter, avoid, accept. These need to be into your this life journey. So when you're talking about the silent killer, this stress is a silent killer. And talking about those infertility problems, 30% of infertility problems and those simple oily skins are the issues that are affecting people. Even those issues of becoming fat, lung ailments, cancer. And when we are talking about the development growth, and it's important that you need to track out that when you are crossing that line, because that line once crossed becomes very difficult to overcome. And when you're talking about the chronic stress, that chronic stress can get into your brain, causes those blood pressures, and causes those fatigues, medical syndromes, mood swings, and those levels can be increased at a very. And these are all of the behaviors that are quoted by a lot of journals, publications, by a lot of people who are actually working and writing papers and doing a lot of research work on stress. So that's the actual quotings by them. It's important that reduce our stress levels, and don't go into the journey of burnout. And one of the best method is laughing. And as I told you, not laughing on others, laughing on yourself, laughing or smiling or overcoming on your situations. Dark chocolate, people have told that dark chocolate can be taken to reduce stress, and can be taken in order to reduce these chromosomes and stress hormone. But as I told you, very specific on body to body. Um, so you need to understand what food, what situation, what solution makes you happier. Being happy is the ultimate solution to overcome stress. Let's see here. I think everybody, got a relaxation. I'm drinking water. Just 2 minutes. Just I'm drinking water. Okay, I think everybody must have watched this video. So again, a simple thing. When you were watching this video, again, one feeling that came into your mind. One thing. Any one feeling that came into your mind? Participants, did you watch this video? Yes, participants. Any one feeling that came into your mind? Any one stress that you forgot about? Anything? Anybody want to? I could have been there. So lovely, Jyoti ma'am. This is so lovely. Actually, this is a thing when you are seeing it. You saw it. Yes, this is a much beautiful feeling. Yes, could have been there. Yes, lovely. Anything else that came into your mind? And this is a reality that Jyoti ma'am had seen it very like starting till end. Yes, nature. Yes, nature. Nature is one of the, as I wanted to tell you, is one of the such a soothing, stress relieving thing. Sitting in just underneath a tree, just getting yourself wet in the rain, enjoying the rains, forgetting that what is happening. Nature, looking at the sunset, looking at the in the morning, going and doing exercise during the sunrise. Yes, so Shaila ma'am, yes, Lakshmi ma'am, you want to say something? Lakshmi Thana ma'am has raised her hand. Shaila ma'am was planning of going somewhere in nature. Yes, I think normally when I see this video, I feel myself, I close my eyes and I think that I am there with my family, I am there with my loved ones and enjoying it, even I'm not there. So I feel that relaxation in my mind. Anybody else? Any other feeling you got? Any negative feeling you got? Any negative feeling you got watching this video? Anybody? Just a sec, ma'am. There's an important call coming. Just a sec. Okay, so when we're talking about some of the stress management tips, so we need to understand that the psychological association and the psychological association of has given various type of stress management techniques and need to be considered. And for as I told you in the previous slides also, you need to understand your stress. It's very important that you need to understand your stress and identify the sources. You need to specify that it can be your family, it could be your work pressure, it could be several triggers that could increase your stress. So that sources need to be identified. Similarly, you need to recognize those signals. You need to understand that it could be your headaches, stomach pains, it could be your stress in terms of your any kind of issue which triggers and when triggers a particular issue occurs. So you need to understand those stress signals in order to get the best possible solution, because you don't want to cross this line and go into the burnout situation. Similarly, when you are talking about stress, you need to recognize the stress strategies, how you can calm down, how you can overcome with some healthy exercises, healthy options, seeing that nature, seeing that behaviors where you are stressful. So you need to understand the issues, and you need to understand the strategies which could be done in order to reduce your stress. And when we are talking about some kinds of stress management exercises, those breathing exercises could be very, very effective. So let's check this inhale and exhale exercise. And if you can do this, this again can be a very, very self relaxation and stress relief exercise. It's again a very, very effective breathing exercise by the Los Angeles Performance Therapy, and it is actually exercise which is practically very effective. I think if everybody can do this exercise, many of the yoga exercise, like when you talk about those pranayam and all, they also are self-breathing exercises. You can go for these for stress reliever, and also taking self-care as one of the priority, very important. You need to understand that your body, your soul, your mind are a very, very important part of your scenario, and you need to take into consideration these self priority exercises, self priority measures, in order to specify that these are something that will make you much more effective, much more physically fit, in terms of when you are talking about your food, your sleep, your anything that is best for yourself should need to be analyzed. And normally we hesitate taking support from others, but any kind of support, like talking support, discussion support, like crying out in in front of somebody, speaking out, getting in help, it should be considered at every level. It should be considered at every level, because it's very, very important to understand the situation and understand the support when required. So when you're talking about different stress management techniques, some are action oriented, and these action oriented need to understand that stress is inevitable, but distress is not. And you need to be very much assertive. You need to be very assertive that there are things that are bothering you, and you need to identify that these bothering things can be handled in a very effective manner, can be handled in a very specific manner, where you can communicate to people, where you can be strong enough from your problems, and you need to reduce the noise. And when we are talking about the noise, it's like crisis, it's like issues where which are causing you stress, and you need to understand that you need to be notice those noises that are coming into your mind, and you need to understand that relaxation is the most important scenario, and your time needs to be managed in a very, very healthy manner. So when you're saying that I'm busy always, I am not able to prioritize, you are not able to create an enjoyable life, you are not able to take out those breaks. So it's important to understand that those breaks are very, very important. And when you're talking about your boundaries, for example, in any of the job situation, if you are not able to connect to a person, then create those boundaries. Those boundaries can be healthy boundaries, those boundaries can be priorities, where you don't want to accept a task, say a healthy no. And you need to understand how much you can be committed to give upon, how much you can committed to work upon. Those creation of the boundaries are very, very important in family as well as your professional life. Similarly, getting things out of your head, watching a movie, calling to a particular person on a call, some positive attitude, some distraction is important in life. Yes, focus is important, but distraction is also important when you need to overcome that stress. So distraction also plays a very, very important role. Then we have some emotion oriented approaches, and it's important to understand that stress has a lot of effect on the various types of emotions. And when you're talking about those emotion oriented approaches, you need to be very much positive in your thoughts, and you need to specify that the reality of the brain, the positive emotions plays watching any kind of positive sunset, sunrise, nature, listening to a song which creates some positivity in your minds. Similarly, when you're talking about those cognitive restructuration, then the psychologist says that it's important to understand the CBT theory. Nowadays, we have the CBT theory, that the cognitive behavioral therapy, and it is now utilized by various type of psychologists in their understanding, and it goes with that ABC technique. So let's see how that ABC technique works.
How well do you deal with setbacks at work? Do you let them throw you off course and affect the rest of your day? Or are you the type of person who deals with adversity constructively? Research shows that people who are optimists handle setbacks more effectively than those who are pessimists. This can affect how successful they are in life. Fortunately, you can learn how to be more optimistic. One way to do this is by using Dr. Martin Seligman's ABC technique. ABC stands for adversity, beliefs, and consequences. In short, we first encounter adversity. How we think about this creates beliefs. These beliefs then influence what we do next, so they become consequences. For example, imagine your boss gave you some negative feedback on a presentation you made to the board. This is adversity. If you're pessimistic, you might then think you're no good at your job. This is a belief. You then avoid giving presentations, which affects your career progression. This is a consequence. The key point happens between A and B. When you encounter adversity, how you explain it to yourself has a direct impact on your mindset and on your relationships. Dr. Seligman calls this your explanatory style. He says this heavily influences whether you're optimistic or pessimistic. There are several steps you can take if you want to develop a more positive explanatory style. First, pay attention to your inner dialogue by writing down your thoughts whenever you encounter a stressful or negative situation. Describe what happened, what beliefs you had during and after the adverse experience, and the consequences of this. After you've noted several situations, look at what you've written. What patterns do you see here? What are the consequences of your negative thinking? You can then think about how to manage your negative ABC patterns. One technique you can use is distraction. For instance, try wearing a rubber band around your wrist. Whenever you go through a stressful situation and you catch yourself having negative thoughts, snap it against your skin. The tiny sting will remind you to step out of the cycle of negative thinking. Now you can challenge your negative beliefs by intentionally looking for positives in your situation. For example, you could focus on what you learned so that you can deal with similar situations better next time. To find out more about the ABC technique and how to use it to be more optimistic, see the article that accompanies this video.
So I think this ABC technique is a very, very important technique which helps you out of that negative world, those overthinking. And you need to understand that overthinking and negative thinking can be very easily reduced by slightly changing your behavior, slightly distracting yourself, and going with some kind of acceptance-oriented approaches. So is there somebody wanted to say something?
Ma'am, please, could you please repeat about ABC technique? I didn't get it properly, ma'am.
Yes, sure, ma'am. I'll repeat the video and then we'll discuss also.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. So let's go with the repetition of the video and then we'll discuss.
How well do you deal with setbacks at work?
Do you let them throw you off course and affect the rest of your day? Or are you the type of person who deals with adversity constructively? Research shows that people who are optimists handle setbacks more effectively than those who are pessimists. This can affect how successful they are in life. Fortunately, you can learn how to be more optimistic. One way to do this is by using Dr. Martin Seligman's ABC technique. ABC stands for adversity, beliefs, and consequences. In short, we first encounter adversity. How we think about this creates beliefs. These beliefs then influence what we do next, so they become consequences. For example, imagine your boss gave you some negative feedback on the presentation you made to the board. This is adversity. If you're pessimistic, you might then think you're no good at your job. This is a belief. You then avoid giving presentations, which affects your career progression. This is a consequence. The key point happens between A and B. When you encounter adversity, how you explain it to yourself has a direct impact on your mindset and on your relationships. Dr. Seligman calls this your explanatory style. He says this heavily influences whether you're optimistic or pessimistic. There are several steps you can take if you want to develop a more positive explanatory style. First, pay attention to your inner dialogue by writing down your thoughts whenever you encounter a stressful or negative situation. Describe what happened, what beliefs you had during and after the adverse experience, and the consequences of this. After you've noted several situations, look at what you've written. What patterns do you see here? What are the consequences of your negative thinking? You can then think about how to manage your negative ABC patterns. One technique you can use is distraction. For instance, try wearing a rubber band around your wrist. Whenever you go through a stressful situation and you catch yourself having negative thoughts, snap it against your skin. The tiny sting will remind you to step out of the cycle of negative thinking. Now you can challenge your negative beliefs by intentionally looking for positives in your situation. For example, you could focus on what you learned so that you can deal with similar situations better next time. To find out more about the ABC technique and how to use it to be more optimistic, see the article that accompanies this video.
So let's discuss this very important technique, ABC technique, and why I'm telling you it's very important because let's see a scenario. We as researchers nowadays face an issue where paper acceptance and paper rejection plays a very important role. Okay, so normally what we do when our paper gets rejected, according to the adversity belief and consequence theory, I'm talking about general people. They think that a negative feedback of the paper, that they are not good in writing a paper and they will not further write in a paper. But for me, I personally feel if my paper gets rejected, I feel that I get some negative feedback, and those negative feedbacks are a very positive assignment for making changes in my paper. So when I further make changes in my paper, in the upcoming paper, I take all those negative feedbacks, and then what I do, I make changes in my paper. I think that I am better. I now write my paper in a better manner. This is my positive belief, and the consequences are next my paper gets accepted. So for me, my ABC technique is me making as a pessimistic, not me making as an optimistic, not me making as a pessimistic. So you need to understand that at this situation you are optimistic, at this situation you are pessimistic. So when you are a pessimistic, your adversity will be always a negative one. Then you will believe that you are not good, and your consequences will be a direct impact on any kind of the situation you are facing. So it's now relatable, Jyoti ma'am?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Anybody face any situation like this where you have experiences of ABC technique? Any specific situation that you have faced? Anybody? Yes, Vinita ma'am, you want to share something? Okay, your boss doesn't want you to do trainings, so you can now do the trainings online. We have so many portals, we have so many online trainings. So can we do some trainings online? Yes. So we have got a optimistic approach that COVID has taken into an optimistic approach where we can do many of the trainings online, and we can manage those classes, and every time we don't have to take the leaves and go for offline trainings. So this is one of the ABC technique which makes you more optimistic rather than always going into that pessimistic scenario. Okay, so let's continue and finish this, and then we'll have more discussions. So then we are going with some acceptance oriented approaches, and those acceptance oriented approach which help you to specify some types of accepted like situations that you cannot control, and you to accept it, and you need to nourish them, because Vinita ma'am has that issue of a boss. So you need to accept your boss, that for some time being your boss is not being changed. So you need to accept that, but you need to bring some more nourishment in your life by other better things. For example, ma'am told that she goes with journey with their friends or families. So you can have those situations where you can exploit yourself into a better in terms of some outings, some doing healthy exercises, some kind of self-relaxation exercises, music, and so on. And your diet and exercise, as I told you, play a very, very important role, because your balanced diet, away from those alcohols and caffeines and lot of sugars can increase that sugar level into which can affect it. Similarly, you have those quote of get moving. You need to be moving in any kind of a situation, in any unhealthy situation, in any bad situation you need to be get moving. And as discussed before, also meditation plays a very, very important role. So when you are meditating, you are relaxed, and you are more into the scenario where you are relaxing your mind, your soul, your visualizations, your muscles, your tissues, and so on. So you need to understand that which exercises, which relaxation are better for you. And resilience, building resilience again is a very, very important specification, that going away from those negative experiences, and you need to go and move on, be more resilient, bounce back from your stress, and overcome those situations which are harming you and your mind. And talking it out is a very, very important scenario that we are lagging. And in many of my sessions I gave with stress management, many of the people gave so important issues that they are facing. They talked it out, they related that they had issues, and they openly expressed it, because we are not seeing anybody faces. So if you want, anybody wants to talk it out after that particular end of this particular session, we can discuss, because talking it out can get you some solutions, can get you some advantages in relaxing yourself, your mind, your soul. And it's important to understand that you are a gift of God. Everybody is a gift of God, and it's important to understand that sharing your thoughts, sharing your emotions with a person who is connected to you can be very, very healthy. Sleeping those Z's. I feel sleepy. When I am stressed, I feel sleepy. I go to sleep. At least for that 1 hour or half an hour, I relieve my stress. Many a times you get, when you are stressed, you are not able to sleep for that particular time. And when you get that sleep, your mind and soul and your body gets relaxed. So again, it's an important scenario in that particular concept. So let's check this.
Stress is a state of mind that many of us are experiencing as a result of the new coronavirus pandemic. At this time, it's important that we share how we're coping with this situation. Here are our tips. Some people may feel afraid of falling ill or dying, afraid of losing their livelihoods, of being separated from their loved ones, or being socially excluded. Others may feel frustrated at being unable to protect their families. Some may have lost their jobs, are experiencing economic hardships, and may even be reluctant to visit health facilities out of fear of contracting the virus. In the current situation, it's normal to feel stressed, worried, anxious, sad, confused, frustrated, or even frightened. However, you should strive to remain calm and focus on the things you can do to protect your mental health. There are things that can be done to help relieve stress, to reassure the people you know, and take practical steps to caring for yourself and your family. So what can you do? Talk. When you feel stressed or worried, talking to people that you trust can help. Contact your friends and family. Maintain a healthy lifestyle. If you're isolating or quarantining at home, try to follow a healthy diet. Engage in physical activity, maintain regular sleeping patterns, and stay in touch with your loved ones via email, telephone, or video call. Avoid drinking alcohol, smoking tobacco, or the use of other substances. These will not help to reduce stress. If you feel overwhelmed, talk to a health worker or counselor. Research who you can contact for help in your community if necessary, and keep this information at hand. Seek information from reliable sources. Having up-to-date information on the current situation will help you better evaluate risks and take reasonable precautions. Avoid listening to fabricated rumors and information from unverified sources. For reliable information, consult the PAHO or WHO websites or any other websites provided by health authorities in your country. Limit exposure to news coverage. To minimize your anxiety and unease, limit the time you and your family spend watching or listening to news that you find alarming. Finally, apply previously learned strategies. Try to put into practice skills that you found helpful during difficult situations in the past. For more information, please visit the Pan American Health Organization's website, www.paho.org/coronavirus.
So I think again a very specific video which told you that how this COVID-19 has increased the stress of the people in terms of their health being, in terms of their emotional connect, financial connect. But it's important to understand that situations are there, but human being has a lot of power to overcome those situations. And now we can have some healthy discussions, some issues, some questions, and coming with the next session after lunch will be more on stress in teaching. So I'll be coming with online and offline teaching stresses. So now I can have discussions. Okay. So we can have a lot of questions or discussions, and from the audience, if they want to share some of their issues. So I think people have written something. Let's get to that. Upasana ma'am told swelling in intestine. Reason is lot of stress I'm taking. Yes, there are a lot of issues that comes due to, as I told you, don't go into that burnout situation, ma'am, as Upasana ma'am, because then medicines will be a lot of you'll be dependent on those medicines. So if you are taking official stress, because just try to understand that these are not of the things that are faced by one person. Every person has some stress in their life. But if we are always concentrating on the negative issues and never ever concentrating on the positive scenarios, then this will not be a stress, it will be a distress. And once you get into that cycle of distress, medicines will be your only support. So it's important to understand that your life is one life. Always focusing on criticism, always focusing on problems, issues. Everybody has, and if I say that I don't have, or the second person says second person doesn't have, it's not the reality. But try to concentrate on something that is more relaxing. Try to avoid your problems in a more effective manner. Yes, things can be overburdened, but there will be phases which are easygoing phases. So when you come into that easygoing and relaxing phases, enjoy that time. It can be a 10 minutes talk, it can be a movie break, it can be a YouTube break, singing a song, laughing out loud, anything that help you to come out of the situation, because then you will be seeing that your support on medicines will be reduced. Because as you say that you have intestinal issues, and many of people have those blood pressure issues because they are taking unnecessary stress. Everybody has stress, but once that go into the scenario of unnecessary stress, it becomes very difficult to cope up. So please consider as an advice, and offer solutions that are healthier. Then Vinita ma'am says that yes, I think we had the discussions that you can go with some online trainings. They're so good that you go for acupressure, yoga, pranayam, and those walk and exercise. Then if you are doing those things regularly, then I think your stress could be reduced very easily, because you are forgetting something, your office, your boss, at least by doing those exercises. So if you are going with those exercises and going with those issues and solving your issues in a much better manner, in better exercises and better solutions, then the problems will become less. Okay, Brijesh, okay, hide option to the right of stop sharing. Click on hide option to the right of stop sharing. Okay, I'll do that next time. I've already stopped sharing now. Send me them. I won't forget some bad happening. Ma'am, you are doing so good exercises, as you told, that exercise in sunlight. But if actually you are practicing it, that's important, because if you are actually practicing them, then those bad happenings will be forgotten by you. But if you are doing just for a namesake, then it will be difficult. So when you are doing that exercise, if you're concentrating on that exercise only, then nothing will come in your mind. But if you are just doing it, like if you're taking medicines only to reduce the stress, that's not important. If you're taking medicines in order to overcome that situation, then only your medicine will prove the worth. So it's important to understand that you need to overcome the situation of stress and don't get distressed, and you actually practice. Jyoti ma'am says that in the work family balancing, we sometimes can't focus on our own health, keep going, even not pause. No ma'am, prioritizing self-love is very important. Jyoti ma'am, self-love is very, very important. And as I told you that for me, self-love is giving those sessions, tracking out any of my hobby. So if you go for any of your hobby, which is your self-love, then you can nourish yourself. Because as I told you that giving those sessions was not a thing that I was able to practice when I was, when we were during offline and so on, because you had to go and travel many of the places. But now, since I've given so online good sessions, now I feel that this has nourished myself, made me a more better human being. So if you have any of your hobby, you can go with hobby, you can go with singing, reading, cooking, or any of the gardening, going with the nature, traveling. So if you want to go with the self-exploration, you need to give at least 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes for yourself. You cannot forget yourself. Even getting up better dressed, dressing up properly, women like ornaments, women like many of accessories, you can go and wear those, and you will be feeling self-relaxed. So taking me time is very important, ma'am. You need to take that me time out any a time. It can be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. So it's important to take out that me time. Unless and until you will be again going in the circle of life where you are serving, and you are not nourishing yourself. Yes, homeopathic medicines are good. At least they don't have those side effects. So you can go with those some homeopathic. Allopathic are required when you have those lot of distress and depressions. But you can go with other medicines also. Vinita ma'am, get emotionally free. So that emotionally free can be done, ma'am, as I told Jyoti ma'am, taking a self exercise, taking a self hobby. Any kind of a self hobby you can take. That's very important. You can go with a self hobby that could be very, very interesting, and that could help you to nurture yourself. Forget something, because when I'm giving sessions, I'm forgetting everything, and when I am cooking, I am forgetting other things. So when you are doing a self hobby to nurture yourself, then you will forget and you will be emotionally very, very free. Vijay sir, among those who are ready to take pain to help others, I feel stressed when in return they behave badly with me as needs no more help for me. Vijay sir, expectations are not required. Even if they are not giving you in return, God will give you much more in return. I can tell you, if for example, if somebody do bad to you, in return you do the bad, but that's the finish. But leave the thing on God. If you are, the gift of God is much more better than the expected behavior from others. If the people are not giving you back, these are not the people to be helped next time. Leave it. Find other people. Don't break your relations with them. Have cordial relations with everybody, but you can go with the nourishment of other people, and don't expect from anybody. Don't specify that the expectations can give you better gifts, better solutions. No, the God mercy, because God is seeing everything. He is seeing, and many other people are seeing everything. So your good behavior never gets repaid. You will be repaid in much better outputs from God, from other persons, because everything is seen. So for real life situation, don't expect lot of things when you are helping. Just help for your own good, for your own human satisfaction, not for the expectations. Yes, Sindhu ma'am, me time is very important. Take it from your busy schedule. 45 minutes walk only. Yes, me time is very important. Any me time. 45 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Any time, any leisure time. Me time is very, very important. That can be your time alone with your son, with your daughter, with your parents, with your husband. Any me time can be important. And all properties are occupied by my relatives, and lot of cases are there. Ma'am, these are some of the issues that people are facing. A lot of people think that this is the only thing that they can do for others, is like doing bad for others. So you need to understand that things get very, very horrified when people face bad with their children. So if a person is doing bad for others, it will come some back way. And if you are doing good for others, it will come back to you, not you, but your children. If your children get nourished, they get the interest, like if you say that they get the output, then you will be much more satisfied. So some situations are those situations like your property issues, your cases, they will be there. But there will be some very positive situations in life. You need to look on those situations and nurture and nourish yourself. That's very, very important. Taking out that me time, taking out those hobby time, taking out those personal care, personal touch, dressing up properly, dressing up neatly, apply makeup. Why not? Apply it. think you are beautiful. Men can think, even women can think, everybody. It's not only women can think that they are beautiful, men are beautiful. Men have you can get dressed properly and get dressed in the best effective manner, and show to yourself that you are the best. Thank you, Jyoti ma'am. Anybody else, any situation you want to share with? Anybody else? Any questions you have, you can please share. If anybody wants to share anything, you can share and we can talk for that. And this is the most online issue that people are facing, and it's better to take him to some creative, avoiding fixing the mobile time, fixing that screen time, and get him adjusted in something else. Get him adjusted something more effective, something more creative. Taking him out with you in some parks. If in COVID-19 you're not going out, you can have some painting exercises, some non-fire cooking with him, something that he likes. You can have some playing time with him, spend more time. I think people and children who are have less time with their friends and parents, those childs are more dedicated towards those mobiles. And if you can give some more time your son, then your son will come out of that habit and fix his time on that mobile. Let him play a little bit, but don't make a habit where he's continuously into that mobile. You can have some creative exercises with him, some self-relaxing exercises with him itself. So you can work it, you can have some yoga with him, anything which he like apart from mobile. If you are not able to get relaxed, ma'am, you can just distract yourself. In 5 minutes, you can distract yourself. As I told you, drinking a ruafza, eating something healthy, take a cake, take a pastry, cooking out for yourself, because many times we cook because cooking is every day we need to do. So make cooking as your self-relaxing exercise. So that could be done. So if you're not getting that me time, anything that you are doing in order to overcome stress, any other thing that can distract you from that stress, you can take it as one of your method. So if you're not getting exactly the time, you can get some time where you can do some exercises in terms of your relaxation, some homely exercises, some talking to your friends, some kind of game, some kind of connect that could be done. Yes, Reshma ma'am, 3 kids, ma'am, these are the issues that most of the women are facing. But it's important to understand that there is a time, self-prioritize time, and there is a time of family. So a schedule is very, very important. Getting up early and doing your household chores can be done. And then other thing that can be done is giving your time to your children when you are coming back. It can be any time of 10 minutes, 20 minutes, making some snacks with them, enjoying those snacks with them. Anything that can be done to make you or your children happy. It can be a thing which could be consideration in terms of your self-relaxation, because dealing with children in terms of stress could be very, very painful. So you need to overcome your stress when you're coming with your children. So when you are going with your children, and you need to understand that schedule is very important. Time when you are at home is your home time, office time is your office time, and if you are able to do the best at both the front, and what is best is not giving your 100%, is feeling happy in both the fronts. If you are able to feel happy in both the fronts, then you will be never ever be distressed. So that's the thing you need to understand. Is in depression, he has having repeat episode of same. Okay, so Brijesh sir, I think since depression is like is a line out of stress, so it goes with a situation of distress. For that, you can go with a better psychiatric treatment, because that's required a lot. And firstly is you need to understand the sources which is making him depressed. Secondly, don't control on him, rather than make him happy, make him relaxed is a very important thing. Normally what happens that we try to control the situation, but the situation goes out of our control. So getting things done is an important thing, but controlling the things can be very much in terms of a negative environment. So it's important to understand your brother needs support of family also, and some medicinal also. So going to a good psychiatrist is a very, very important situation, because I think that line is now crossed, because depression is a thing that is the line being crossed. So once that line is crossed, it's important to take both medicinal support and both family support. But it is not like which cannot be overcome. You need to overcome this with your love and respect. You need to specify that respect is also very, very important terminology nowadays. So if a person is facing depression, he needs to be respect, loved, cared. Very important. Okay, so I think, ma'am, this is something very, very specific that is people are facing as Vinita ma'am situation. But the thing is that some things are out of control. But the most important thing for any kind of a relationship is trust. And if the trust is being broken, then you need to talk on that matter. You need to have a very, very important talk on that matter. And if you think that your self-respect, dignity, and trust is being broken, then I think coming out of that relationship will be a solution. But in that respect, you need to understand that are you not making a decision which is a very fast decision. For that you need to talk, you need to discuss, you need to understand, because taking into this consideration this particular matter can be like a problem, like an issue. So if it could be talked about, it could be discussed in both the terminologies, it could be helpful. But if it is thing which is hampering your self-esteem, which is hampering your self-respect and trust, then it's important to come out of that situation. So I think anybody else, if any other issue, we can discuss on that. Yes, ma'am. Offline also I can be connected, but actually the traveling issues are there, so that's why we are now very much easily connected on the online portals. I'll be sharing in the PPT my number. I think my email IDs are also shared. If you want to talk to me, you can connect with my email IDs and with my number also.